Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview, this time covering the LEC Spring Split. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied by Flakked of Team Heretics coming off of their victory over Rogue in week one of said competition. So Flakked, thank you so much for the opportunity and congrats on the victory. A good way to start off this new split with a victory and being on the right foot. I want to ask you the usual first question. How are you feeling? How good does it feel to start off with a W?
I mean, obviously, it feels very good as well. Like, I don't want to be like, really cocky or anything. But as well, it's like broke. So it's really good that we get it on the first day as well. So we can, in like, like we with the expectations we have of ourselves, we should win easily. So obviously, it feels really good to start with a 2-0. So we can, see how we're playing on stage, and from there we can keep working.
Yeah, for sure. A good result, all things considered, for the Celtic squad with the motivation to at least perform much better than what you guys showed in the winter split. And like, I want to ask you just sort of your thoughts on the match overall. I mean, it can be fair to say that the most difficult part that you guys had to overcome from this series was, the majority of the first match, and then
Yep.
it came to a head in which you guys started flipping the momentum to your favor like near the end of game one, and then game one finished and you guys continued that momentum all the way through game two in a much more commanding fashion. What do you feel
Mhm.
was the biggest obstacle that you guys faced within the first difficult time frame of the series?
I mean, for sure, I think at the beginning, especially Carson was, I mean, not shaky, but we were not like sharp with comms. Like we were getting really punished on top lane, and but we didn't like call things in advance. So we're kind of like playing really reactive. But he was just getting low from cooldown, and there was like not much we could do to help him. And as well, when it came to like team fights, we really took time to figure out how we actually want to play. Like we were saying how we want to play, like front to back, but we were not assigning roles. So basically, it was we just said, yeah, play front to back, and then we go into river, and most of the times I was getting either like caught by a shadow, or we were getting flanked and we didn't know, or I was just with only Brom in front of me, so I was dying anyway. So I think the two biggest obstacles were beginning, like early game, it was like a bit shaky. We are not talking that much, and then in team fights, I think when we realize how we actually want to play fights and exactly what we want from each champion in the game, that's when we start to win the game. And I think if we play properly, it's really hard for them to actually get winning fights. They need to be really creative. So I think, yeah, that's the two most important things I would say.
I mean, over in game two, it kind of felt like, I don't like this kind of my way of phrasing it, but you can kind of elaborate on it. It was very easy in the sense that like you guys have plenty of opportunities to
Mhm.
win the game and kind of facilitate and make basically close the game in a much more fashion compared to game one, given how Rogue was playing and how kind of like
Yep.
discoordinated they were. I mean, how did you kind of view the second game from your point of view? Do you feel like it was kind of like that, from what Rogue showed to you guys?
I mean, I think game two, we already like, we suffered a bit game one, getting back to the LEC, getting back to the feeling of the stage. And now, thankfully, since it's best of three, now you can actually, get time to, if you need to like calm down, or if you need to like actually like wake up and, like accelerate a bit. So I think game two, we were just like really confident on our draft. We were really confident on like how to play this. And yeah, I mean, there was like not much opposition from Rogue. As you mentioned, I think they were like really discoordinated on the map. They didn't really have clear in mind like what they want to play for actually. And yeah, it was like really chill. We just got soul minute 20, and then from then the fights are like really hard for them. So yeah, I think we for sure built up like some kind of momentum, and we actually chilled, and we were playing like a comfort draft, or like not comfortable draft, but we had really clear from level one what we exactly wanted to do. And yeah, as I said, there was like not much opposition from Rogue.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you guys were finished today with a victory, starting off on the right foot, as I said at the start of this video. But I kind of want to backtrack real quick over into end of winter split, all of that stuff, and then having to rebound, or more so try to adjust from then up until the start of this spring split. Obviously, looking over into the Heretic squad, it's a majority filled with young talent. It mixed with veteran players like yourself, Flakked, and obviously it's a work in progress. We're gonna see, a gradual improvement within this team in due time, of course, hopefully. And still, though, like looking at the team's performance in Winter Split and the early season struggles that you guys experienced, what do you feel you had to tweak the most within the team from that point up until now?
Do you hear me well, by the way? Because I'm not sure if it's going well.
Yes, I can, yeah, I can hear you very well. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because like I hear you a bit, been a bit like static, but it's fine. Um, the question was 'cause it kind of like shut down for a bit. So the question was about like what we changed from like winter or what we worked on the most.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Okay.
What you worked on the most, yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, sorry for that. This is like there's like a lot of issues today in the LEC studio, but I think what we changed the most is I mean, for sure at the beginning of the project we already mentioned, and we keep mentioning that it's like a long-term project. It's not something we're not gonna come here with this roster and win LEC or win worlds like in winter. So, but as well, we don't get complacent. We since we don't have any expectations of like winning worlds since first split, it's not like we're not gonna work for it. But this is basically we the roster is not built to insta win everything. So for sure we need the time and we need the experience for like I mean the rookies basically as well, like especially Camilo coming from like LFL2 to LEC. So for sure we need time, and we're gonna be still needing time probably. And the thing we work on most, I think it was kind of like, I mean it sounds like a meme, no, but like we need to work on macro, on micro, on vision, on team fighting. But I think it's just true. We just work overall on like how to be better as a team. We started obviously with like since bootcamp we started working on early game because our early game was really weak. Then once our early game was better, we went into mid game. Then when the mid game got more stable, we're looking into like team fighting or objective setup. So we kind of like did a major improvement over everything. But yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest focus at this for like these last weeks was I mean first solo queue, because we're like pretty low in solo queue. And what I do agree that solo queue doesn't matter. I think it matters to like at some extent. I think if you have like 5 master players, I think you are not going down confident against like 5, like rank 1 players. But for sure we're working on like stepping up mechanically, because we just need to be better at the game, like micro wise. And what we drilled a lot this week was playing 2 lanes, like playing like macro, like especially mid game, like movement. And yeah, I think it was most about like playing mid game, playing 2 lanes, and as well identity of comp. And as you could see today game 1, we still like lack knowledge on it, and we still need like to put more hours into it. But yeah, I think that's like we kind of work on everything, but like these last weeks we're probably focusing the most on like 2 lanes and objective setup and team fighting.
I mean, with the team's performance in winter being like eighth place, what are your expectations for this spring split? If you could like pinpoint where exactly in the standings you can kind of look at and say, okay, if we get here, then it'll be a massive plus for us. It'll show that we're actually improving. So
Mhm,
what part of the sentence would you kind of look at and say, okay, this is where we need to be at for spring?
mhm. I mean, semifinals would be like nice already, but I really think we can make it to finals. So it's not like if we don't make it to finals, I'm gonna be like disappointed. But I really believe in my team and I really believe in myself. that we can actually like put the hours and put the grinding to, in order to make it happen. So I mean, I would probably say like semifinals, but it's not something I would be happy with. It's not like, yeah, we reached semifinals. Now maybe the left remaining are like G2 KC Fnatic or like G2 Koi, whatever. Now we can just lose and it's fine. I'm not gonna be like that. But for sure, if we make semifinals, I'll be happy. But of course, I'll be happy if we make it to finals and we win them. But I mean, probably like the most reasonable thing to say would be something like around, yeah, semifinals, like top four. I think would be the most reasonable thing to like mm, mm, say.
Spoken like a true professional. Definitely understand the mindset for that. Um, I want to squeeze in one more question before I wrap it up. Fearless Draft, with its continuation into this year, I want to know your thoughts about that. How difficult, if any, has it been for you guys to go from, okay, coming in with the expectation of only having to play that for winter. Now we're going to have to play for the entire year. So how do you kind of view the change in that?
Mhm. I mean, I really think Fearless Draft is a huge positive for League. I think it's really, when it comes to like viewership, I think it's really refreshing for like viewers to actually like, instead of watching I don't know, like Casante and Besa matchup, and then the next team Casante and Besa again, and watching your team first picking Casante, then winning, and then your team is gonna go red set, and they're gonna leave Casante first pick, so you lose. Something like this. I think it's like really boring, and it can be like really, it's like really. I think you can just get like a bit burnout because some metas are like really not fun to watch. So I think from like viewer perspective, it's always positive. Player perspective though, I think it's still good. I think it allows like players with like bigger champion pools to like actually pull out different things on stage. And yeah, the only thing is that if you go really deep into like game 4, game 5, at some point the drafts are like really hard to like expect. So you need to just adapt and need to be, like pick the most flexible things. Try to not show anything of identity of comp because you don't actually know what are you gonna play or like what enemies are gonna play. But I think it's like a fun challenge. I think it's really positive for everyone. It's just now players and coaches we need to put the extra hours on like game 3, game 4, game 5 scenarios.
And hopefully you guys are able to continue this progression for the next weeks and everything beyond spring split. Flakked, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity for your
Thank you
interview.
so much.
Really appreciate you answering all of my questions, providing us the insight for what's going on within the Heretics squad. And of course, I got to give you the best of luck in the road ahead. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much.